Hi everyone! So today we're going to talk about CodeIgniter URLs, removing the index.php file. Okay, so by default, the index.php file is included in the URL, which is something like this. So if you try to access our blog controller using this kind of URI, then kailangan natin ilagay ito. Okay? Kasi if we're going to do this, we're going to access a specific page or access this particular URL without having the index.php file, okay, ito yung possible na mangyari. So let's try that on our browser. And let's type localhost / myfirstci project / blog. And the result will be something like this. Object not found. Kasi this particular URL, it requires yung index.php file. Hindi pa naman natin na-manipulate yung htaccess file niya at saka yung config file on that particular end. So we need to manage those things muna before we can have this kind of URL. Okay? Okay, so what are the two things that we need to do to remove the index.php file in the URL? First is to create the htaccess file. Then the second one is update the config file. Okay? Okay, so now let's start creating the htaccess file. So in our project, then in our root directory, we just need to add this file, the htaccess file. So you're going to save it as .htaccess. So within that file, we're going to set this code, this one. Okay, just copy and paste that one. And you will notice this part, the rewrite base. So here I specify the project name, which is the myfirstci project. Ilalagay ko dyan. Okay, para ma-recognize na ito yung project ko. Okay, guys? So once you do that, and we go back to our browser, and i-refresh natin itong page, then it will display na yung blog controller page natin, which having heading of my real heading. Okay? Okay, note lang. Make sure that Apache server has mode rewrite enabled. Then the specific rules might not work for all server configurations. Okay, then the rewrite base / myfirstci project specify the folder name of your project. If your project is not inside a specific folder, which therefore you are in the main root directory, then your code will be something like this. Rewrite base /. Okay? Usually, ginagawa natin to if we are already in the production mode or production server. Okay? But for our local development, of course, naka-folder pa lang tayo. Okay? So other note is that if ever you change the folder name of your project, then make it sure that you update the htaccess file as well. Okay? Okay, next is, now let's try to talk about on updating the config file. So going to the application config, then config.php file, we need to look for this index_page on this particular config array. Okay? So as you can notice here, meron tayong naka-indicate dito na index.php. But since na-remove na natin or na-manipulate na natin yung htaccess, we can simply remove this one. But the question is, saan ba ito nalalagay? Okay? So if you are familiar guys with the site URL, this is the URL helpers. Okay, so all URLs that was generated by CodeIgniter, they simply um, append the index.php file based on the config, yung kanina. Okay, so if you try to check this one and view the code of this output, ito yung makikita natin. So every URL na na-generate niya always append the index.php file. Now, if we go back to our config file and remove that index.php, something like this, then save that one and go back to this particular page. If we try to refresh, mawawala na yung mga index.php file. Okay? Ngayon, pwede na nating ma-remove siya. It is because na-manage naman natin yung htaccess. And we can access na yung mga pages natin. Even without the index.php file included in our URL. Okay? So, yun lang natin. Yun ang gagawin natin guys ha. For us to remove the index.php file, first we need to create an htaccess, then manipulate or update the index page on the config file. Okay guys? Okay, so I think that's it guys. So I hope you learned something new today regarding our topic, which is about CodeIgniter URLs, removing the index.php file. Okay, so if you did, please click thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you will not miss our upcoming videos. Okay, so just like I always say guys, just keep practicing and never stop learning. Thank you for watching guys and goodbye for now.